Well, hello. Hi, my YouTube friends and family. So, today I wanted to talk about Catan Center Craft Center haul and my J.C. Penney's haul. And I did get my hair cut at Penny's because they had a walk-in, and I'm really glad because my hair looks so much better and it feels better. So, the discussion I wanted to have with you guys today is sometimes when you ladies buy t-shirts for females, I don't know if you guys feel the same or not, but it's like they slit it like right here. And I always feel like the t-shirts are digging into my armpits. So, I prefer personally to shop in the men's section for t-shirts. Thanks for the likes up or thumbs up whoever gave me one. I didn't see you type anything. I do try to do live sometimes on Sundays. So anyways, I wanted to show the clothes I got because I think these are like super duper cute. I had to get socks. Can never have enough socks. I literally wear my socks until the toes wear out. And I thought, oh, I got one of my daughter's shirts in here. We went shopping together because it was her birthday. And I thought these pants were so cute. They had the cutest short pants with these little tie at the bottom of the legs. So I thought these were adorable. For 13 bucks? I mean, yeah. And then the socks were, I don't know if the socks were on sale or not, but they're a nice bundle. And then the two t-shirts I got, because they used to make women's where the sleeve went down a little bit. Like, I just hate short sleeves. So I ended up getting these out of the men's section, but I love men's t-shirts. This is the Def Leppard one. I've seen them in concert like 2 times, I believe. Great. And of course, the love of my life was my favorite cartoon growing up as Scooby-Doo. So this was my small clothing haul at Penny's and my haircut. So then I have been waiting at my local Dollar Tree. And these have not been available. This is the one that actually has the pineapples. And we finally got them in. I've seen people haul these on Dollar Tree shopping hauls. And I was so happy when we got these in. And another thing I wanted to share with you guys. Oh, I found these and I thought these were really cute. These are doilies that can go into journaling or crafting. And you can even cut these down for tuck spots or whatever you want to use them for. And I found these. These are all from the Dollar Tree. This is the coloring notepad. And I thought this was cute because if you're doing a journal, you can leave something for somebody to color. And plus it's got the lines for journaling. So I thought that was nice. And if you're doing a smaller journal, you can always cut this in half. And you can actually like washi tape it to 2 different pages and use it. I thought that was nice. But that's just my crafting idea. Okay, so the Catan stuff. I just had to share this with you guys because it's a crafting shop. Because we usually have like Joann's close. But we don't have like a lot of local shops. So today I went in and I went crazy on crafts. They had a bunch of clearances. So I'm going to share some of the things I found. And these are for future crafting projects. And this here is like colorful musical notes, which I thought was absolutely adorable, and stickers. And this here is made out of chipboard. And I love fall. And my dad used to have a red pickup truck. So I thought this was perfect to add when I eventually do a fall journal, because I do want to do one eventually. I don't know when I will get this stuff done, but we shall see. And then I thought this was nice because These people like these in journals. I couldn't find these like this at the Dollar Tree, but this is like the way kids used to use rating paper, the old school kind, when you were in grade school. So I found the tablet of these, which I thought was cute. And a lot of people like using these type of papers and graphing papers in journaling, junk journaling. So I thought that was cute. And then I found this. They have these all on sale for $1. This says cheers. Some of these stamps can be expensive in some places. I've seen some like $20. So these are ones I picked up for $1 a piece today. I got the word "You Can Smile," or stamp smile. And then I found this flower, which I thought was cute. And then, of course, I had to pick up a butterfly. I did look for a horse, but I couldn't find one that was decent. They had one with lines in it, but it wasn't like one I would want. But I did find these horse stickers. Well, hello, retired and prepping. I am in here having fun, sharing my crafts that I shop for today. And then here is my sunflowers. I found these stickers. I really love this store. It's the first time I've been in it, but oh my goodness, the stuff they had. Look how cute that is. And then this is an oh, me too. This is a ephemera package. And like I said, my dad had one of those red pickup trucks. So this is really cute to add to the fall collection. He even had one that had a smokestack on it. And then this here was great. I was looking for bigger ink pads because I only got this size. Like when I went to, these are expensive. And when I went to Joann's, they had these on clearance. Look how tiny those are. I mean, you'd have to have like a bigger stamp thing would never fit into that. So I did get these on clearance for my smaller ones. And they had these. They were not on clearance, but I got the Ranger Jet Black. One thing's nice about stamping, though, is you can actually take colored pencils and color inside if you want to where they're white. And then here was the Tim Holtz, and this is Hickory Smoke, Vintage Photo, Ground Espresso, and Black Soot. So I bought this as a combination. So these are my two bigger ink pads. I'm trying to get into crafting and collecting as much as I can. And then this here was an assorted pack of fall that they had, and I thought this was really cute. It's got turkeys in behind here somewhere hiding. It had like a nice variety because I plan on doing a fall junk journal book at some point because autumn is my favorite season. I love autumn, always have. The changing of colors. And then this here was another book set that went with the red truck. Every time I see a red truck, I think of my dad. And then inside, let's see if I can get the sticker off to actually show the papers inside this. They get some cute stuff. I'm not used to doing hauls live, so usually I record them and do them. So this is like the first biggest haul I've ever done on a live stream. But I don't live stream that much. But I want to around Sundays around 5 or 6 is good for me to do some. Thank you. And then here's another one. I got my hair cut today, so my hair keeps getting in my face. They had like a fall area. And some things I liked, some I didn't. So I just picked up what I particularly liked. And here's the other one. This is the other pad. I like the golds, the burnt orange, pumpkin, sunflower. I just love the colors. of autumn. I just think, I don't know, there's just something about it. But I also like spring. Hey, April, where everything comes to life, but there's something about fall. I don't know. I just love it. And here the temperatures are like beautiful in that season. And then here's more sunflowers. Now, these sunflowers were a little bit more, I should say, they're not as vibrant, but they're more like a shimmery color. And they've got more like an old-fashioned look. So when you like look at the two together, look how vibrant this one is. Halloween count as the season. See how like darker this is? But they're so different from each other, but I like both of them. I like this one because it's more vibrant, but I like this one because it's kind of toned down too. And then I thought these were cute. I love this. I love looking at the sun. These are like wooden. And I also am going to be working, which I already started. I love sailboats. I don't know why. Sometimes I wonder if people really are reincarnated because, like, I've never been on one. But, like, the old pirate ships and sailing, I don't know what it is, but there's just something about that mast that it's just, to me, is beautiful. I've always found, like, ships like that amazing. And then I found this for a journal I'm working on right now, so I thought this would be pretty. But my uncle used to own, before he passed away, he used to do wood shops. And I just wish he would have known about this kind of stuff because he could have had a field day doing all this kind of stuff for journaling and these little wood pieces. And I found this for fall. Yes, I do. The type of ribbons that I have looked for is more the flat. Like sometimes you go in and you'll find the ones that have the gathering around. I don't use those. And you'll see like ones that are doodled, like almost like a doily. The only thing that's bad about those, they're beautiful, but when you cut them, they fall apart. It's like they fray or whatever. And I like seeing them as pockets in junk journals, but it seems like every time I try to cut them, I mess them up. So I kind of like stick with the flat kind. I don't think I have any in here at the moment. Maybe I do. Wait a minute. This might have been out of an old, yeah. Like, I'll show you what I mean. Like this kind here, that's like a flat lace. And then this kind here, I don't use anything with a wire in it. Just all like the flat kind. And this here, I think is beautiful. This was another piece. Like all flat and lacy. Sometimes they don't have to be like totally see-through. But this is the kind of lace I like. Or the satin ribbons, I think they're called. Yeah, I don't do lives a whole lot. But this here, I like this too. Sometimes people will buy like old wedding veils and wedding dresses. And I've noticed like if they find them at sales and nobody's buying them to wear them, they buy them and they cut them up and they actually use them in journals and it's beautiful. Like they do it to the sides of the pages or the outline of a book. These are the papers that I bought today. Look how cute these are. Look at these pumpkin faces. That's one of my favorites. And this one here is just comical. I love the blues. I think this is so pretty. Like I have the makings to do a Halloween journal, but I haven't. And then of course I fell in love with this just because it's fall. You can use this side or this side. or both, if you depending on what you're using it as. But these both have, this here is just a solid on the other side of the ghost, and this one here is like dots, but I like the pumpkin side and the ghost side. I might do a Halloween junk journal at some point, but for now, it might not be this year. But look how pretty this is. I love leaves. Look how pretty those leaves are. I got lots of pictures that I've actually taken photos of fall around here. But I thought this was cute. See, I'm not much into celebrating Halloween. I like to, when we used to have trick-or-treaters and stuff like that, but it's like we don't have them anymore. So it's kind of like went blah. It's like we don't have no trick-or-treaters. It's no fun. So I haven't really, you know, I decorate, but we used to have trick-or-treaters, but they started a trunk and treat, and they took all my trick-or-treaters. So I had like 30 here one year, and it was great. And then last year, I had a bunch of bags made up, and nobody showed because they started the trunk or treat, so we don't have them anymore. So that's the first part, and here's the second part of my crafting haul. I went to town today, as you can tell. It was my daughter's birthday, so me and her and 3 of my grandkids went out to eat. We went shopping together. It was fun. We had fun. We got our hair cut. We had a good day. So here, I thought this was an excellent deal. This is called Project Life. And this is by Becky Higgins. And it's a core kit, they call it. And these could be used as journaling cards or whatever you want to use them as. But you get a whole set for like $12. But you get a lot. Like it's, let's see if it tells. It's a complete 12 by 12 inch scrapbook into pieces. And it's just, I love these. I think these are awesome. There's 576 cards in this box for $12. That's not bad. So I am going to have fun. And this is some of the designs in the kit. And you can, like, what I like to do is cut regular, different color notepads down, like regular writing paper. And they'll come in pinks or greens or whatever. And you can cut them down and washi tape them to the back or glue them or double. It doesn't matter how you put them on, but they make great journaling cards. So I bought that today. And then this. Oh, I'm going to have so much fun with this. This was for $5. This is all I paid for this on sale. Look how adorable this is. I'm going to take my recipes and finally make a decent, I bought an extra set of the cards in case I need them. I'm going to make a nice recipe book out of this. For $5, you can't beat that. I think this is so cute. And these were the extra cards, separate. So I got a package of these, and you get 40 in here. So I thought those are cute. I need to update my recipe book. And then I found this stencil of butterflies, which is going to be a lot of fun to paint with. And I do like using our acrylics. And then here's my pumpkin patch. Is that like not cute? I think that is so adorable. Look at it. It looks like a little bandit pumpkin. And then I got a pair of scissors because I already have the jagged and I wanted to get a wavy look. So I only got a couple of these. Yes. And then they had these kits for sale. This was on sale for $5. I want to do a military junk journal for someone in the military that's away from home and wants to sit and write about what's going on. Now, this is the Army, but it doesn't really matter if it's the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, or whatever. I just want, you know, look how pretty that is. I just want, you know, sometimes when the guys are away from home, I'm surrounded by a lot of military people. And my husband was in the Navy. I had a great uncle who won a Purple Heart in the Battle of the Bulge when it was the United States against Germany, which we do have German in our family. It's just, I've had uncles, letters were written home that my dad has recorded. He was 100 and something airborne. I don't know all the ranks, but he wrote letters home to his mom, and I got to read them, and it was really cool. And it's just, sometimes when the guys get away from home and they don't, you know, I've noticed like on pen pal sites, you can send books and this and that and the other, but I thought it would be kind of neat if somebody just wanted to record their day, just to have something to do when they can't do nothing else. So I think a military junk journal would be awesome. And I am working on trying to open an Etsy shop in the future. But right now, I'm trying to build up what I want to put into the Etsy shop. So we shall see. And this was awesome. They had this great big pack of fall. My one uncle served in the Air Force. My husband was Navy. One of my brother's best friends served in the Army. I'm trying to remember what everybody did. I had another relative that was in Vietnam, but I'm not sure what military he was in. But I thought this was cute too. This is a whole package of fall. There's all kinds of stuff in here to play with. And then I found these cards. Now these are Miscellaneous by Bo Bunny. And these have journal content cards. And it's got like, I don't know, looks like words on the cards where you can turn them into journaling too, which I thought was really cute. I have an art program when I get ink. I need to get ink for my printer. But I have an art program, and I'm going to see in that program if I could actually lay pictures over words. And I think I can do it and over musical notes, but we'll see. I haven't played enough in this program with this kind of stuff because I never used it for junk journaling. I just used it for digital journaling or scrapbooking, I mean. And turn it into journaling is something different. So I'm trying to mesh how I used to do stuff digitally with using stuff that you buy, things that you actually make physical. So I'm trying to bring both worlds together, and it's not as easy as what it sounds because I can like totally make something in my art program, the whole page, but adding something physical to it enhances it, but it's just different because I've only done the one way. So, because I started a digital scrapbooking for my grandsons. My one cousin told me I should have went into some kind of art, digital art, but I don't know. Just never had time for it. So I'm going to have to do this. And then this was another stencil I got, was a leaf stencil because I wanted leaves, so I got this. And I was a Girl Scout too, so I have a bunch of badges on things that we had to learn how to do artsy. And it's been a while because, you know, life, family, jobs kind of takes you away from that side of yourself. And I met Tammy, My World at OKC on here, and she kind of unvamped my artistry. She brought it back out again. Hey, Metro. So I'm kind of like learning to do everything again and adding everything. So it's been a process. I've got a few journals I'm working on, but I keep like, I'll work on one as far as I can and then I'll switch to another, and I can't wait till they're done so I can show some people. But I want to be able to see if they're good enough. Hey, Nick Shop. And then you have to watch copyrights. Like there is a lot of art like in Google Images that's copyrighted, so you have to be careful with all that kind of stuff too. I just posted in a Facebook group called Junk Journal Junkies, I just posted some art that I had drawn on envelopes. I'm starting to doodle again. So I did birds, flowers, and another flower with a stem. I'm working on it. I'd like to do a set of butterflies. But right now it's like, I have not drawn since 1984. I actually have a picture I did of it was just, I don't know, it was a rainy day, and sometimes we were cooped in the house as kids, and I'm never bored. I'm always something to do, so I never use the word bored because I'm never bored. There's too much to do in life to be bored. I hate that word. But my mom would have pictures hanging around her house. Like she had these bears on her stand one time, and I drew them, but I don't know where all these pictures went. But she had these peacocks on her wall, and just, you know, with its tail was down. I don't know where it's at right this second, but I did post it to a friend of mine through, I think I posted it through Tammy on Instagram. And she was like, wow, because it's been a while, but I used to doodle all the time. And I actually, well, it's a long time for me, Metro. Since it's 2018 and I haven't drawn since 1984, that's a lot of years. And I don't know if you guys ever used to get those magazines that would say, draw these pictures by hand, and you send it into the same place Charles Schultz used to send his pictures in. It used to be an ad out where you could win money or you could win a scholarship. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. Well, they had this little mouse face with a hat on, or whatever it was, chipmunk or whatever. And I doodled it, and I sent it in, and they offered me a scholarship to go to art school because of that drawing. But I was only like, I don't know, 13 years old at the time. And I was like, there's no way I could do this. My parents would kill me because I wasn't of age. Because you know, it's when you're older. So I didn't do it, but I was wanting to win the money. But they offered me a scholarship to art, but I never pursued art because it was something fun. Like I like photography and I like it, but I like that stuff is fun. That's my downtime, and I didn't want to turn it into a job. So I think I'm average. I don't think my art's that great. It's just doodling to me. But I was born in 67, so I'm older. But I haven't picked up a pencil or a pen or anything. The only thing I've done was me and my one grandson used to paint in his coloring book. He had this great big dinosaur coloring book, and we used to paint in there, and we used to finger paint and stuff like that. But I haven't really drawn in a really long time. So it's like all reawakening in me again. And the other day I was sitting in my bookstore, my used bookstore that I own. It's in the bottom of my house, in case nobody knows, because people keep asking me, you own a bookstore? And I'm like, well, what do you think my last year's videos have been about? The book of the day is in my bookstore. I don't know, maybe I never made myself clear in my videos, but that's what I do for a living. And when I don't have customers coming in, I decided to draw. And a lot of the books that come through might be recyclable, because these were books that were being thrown away. So I told people to bring it to me and stop throwing books away and be wasteful. And some do need recycled. So I've been turning the aged pages into envelopes for journaling. So I have a good resource for arting, for doing crafts and art. See, and it's you know, and I love it. You know, having the store and people bring in books to me all the time and they donate. Sometimes I buy some, but a lot of times, because probably the most I've bought for my store has been children's books. I run out of the kids' books a lot. But I decided the other day I was just inspired. I was looking through encyclopedias and dictionaries and things that people aren't buying, and I thought, I started looking at the pictures and I started seeing these birds and these different things. I said I can do this, so I just look at the picture and draw them, and they turned out pretty cool. So I started posting them on the Facebook group where they sell stuff for junk journaling, and one lady's interested, so we'll see. Because I make like 10 envelopes, either glassine or out of parchment paper, and I drew pictures on those, and then 10 aged. So I'm selling like 20 envelopes for journaling. That's little for $2. So I got people starting to get interested, and if enough people get interested, then I'm going to open up an Etsy store. So that's my goal for this year, in a couple months. But you got to have merchandise ready to sell before you open an Etsy store. And I watched another YouTuber who gave advice, and she said you at least want to have between 100 and 125 items before you open your Etsy store. So I'm kind of working on inventory. And then when I get like enough inventory built up, probably within the next couple months, we'll see. Then I'm going to launch an Etsy store. And I know how to crochet. So I need to learn how to make crocheted flowers. I know how to do a few things, but I've never really messed too much with making like things that would go in a journal. I've done blankets, I've done an Afghan, things like that, but I've never like made little things. So I need to kind of like work on that. And I'm a left-hander, so it's really hard watching videos because it all looks backwards to me. So when I learned how to do it when I was in Girl Scouts, I literally sat across from another person because a right-hander sitting across from me looks like doing it the left-hand way because it's backwards. If that makes any sense. So it's easier for me to learn that way, but it's really hard for me sometimes to follow the videos on YouTube because they're all doing everything backwards. And believe me, being a left-hander, you do a lot of stuff backwards. So I was making envelopes one day, like the treat bag type. I was literally like, what the heck? I said, these like look upside down, and they were. I had to flip them around and turn them around. And I've also made envelopes where when you're actually folding papers into envelopes, you want the words upright. I had them upside down. So I had to turn the paper upside down to get them the way I wanted. I don't know. It's just screwed up because when you're left-handed, it's really hard in a right-hand world. Everything does look backwards. It's really funny. And it's like, how can I get these words to go upright? And I had to play with them a little bit to figure it out. It's crazy. So it's hard to learn at times. It really is. And my mom's a lefty. And she was one of 6 kids, and there was 3 left-handers, 3 right-handers. And now, out of all my kids and grandkids, I have 1 left-hander that just came about. My daughter has a 9-year-old son, a set of twins, and then another baby she just had March 1st. And one of the twins, Livia, is a lefty. She keeps switching, and they keep putting it back, and she keeps switching. So she's my left-hander out of all my grandkids. And I told her, you're going to have a hard time teaching her because they make J's backwards and this and that and the other. Hi. You have a good night too, April, and thanks for stopping in. But yeah, I had a right-hand teacher that stood to this side of me, and she would put her hand over my hand. And she taught me my letters straight up and down. So I'm not one of those lefties that writes upside down. I write straight up and down. But the funny thing is, the ones that do write like that, their handwriting's beautiful. My handwriting's awful. I think my handwriting is very sloppy. But I have a couple friends that are lefties, and when they write, they're like clear up like this, right? And I'm like, oh my God, their handwriting is gorgeous. But mine's not fancy. But that was my haul. And the Pat Catans, it's the first time I have ever been in this crafty store. I'd never heard of it. It's kind of like a teacher store that they go and buy stuff to make crafts with their kids. And my daughter told me about it because I've been to Joann's and I've shopped online. But it's really sad because a lot of our stores are closing in our area. And people don't realize it's all great to shop online and stuff. But they're going to find out it's going to be expensive because a lot of the sites that you shop on online, if you don't buy like 50, 75 or so much of a quantity, you don't get free shipping. And shipping's not cheap. But one thing about my bookstore is I can ship media. Now, the USPS site won't let me make media shipping labels, even though my PayPal does, and it makes it a little difficult for people that don't have PayPal, because I've had a couple people wanting to purchase used books off of me this week. And the only other way I can do it is if people actually send me a money order. And then because money orders can be fraudulent, just like anything else, my bank has to cash it and hold it before I can have it till it goes through. Then I'm able to mail the books. So for people that shop off of me that way, they're going to have to just trust me. And I actually had a police officer order a bunch of books off of me when I started because I actually was on Craigslist, and it was so funny because I told him I had like put up a ad on Craigslist under, you know, our section of the state and posted my store. Kind of like, you know, because it's really expensive to advertise. So I stuck it there and a cop saw it and he actually ordered a bunch of books off of me. He's in Maryland. And I told him, I said, well, I hope to God you trust me because I don't have like any proof to show you that I'm a thing but my business card. And he's like, hey, I know where you live because they got your name. Because my store is my name. And I thought, oh, you're funny. But he did. He bought a whole box of books off of me. But the money order had to come and I had to let it go through the bank because the bank said they won't just cash that. It has to come from them. So, you know, their bank to me. So once it went through, then I was able to mail them the books. But I have a scales and I have all that kind of stuff here. And I don't know why, but stamps.com and places like that have media mail shipping, but then you got to pay for their service. And I don't want to have to pay for their service. I'm telling you, Metro, when I opened up my first online, because I used to have an online website, it was horrible. For somebody who don't have nobody in your family to ask business questions to, I have nobody to talk to. Believe me, I have put it out on the community page where I live. Nobody answers anything. I was bouncing my head off the walls. Like, I have no clue what I'm doing. But the site was cheap because if you go to like web.com, you're paying like $300 and something a month. You can't afford that when you open a store. Unless you have food or something, you know, because books are a luxury. They're not a necessity. So I put out $800. Okay, now mind you, I've been in your business for 5 years as of May 1st. I paid $800 for my first year. And I haven't made that back yet. And I'm in my 5th year of having my store open. I haven't even made $800 back for that. So it's like, I didn't have nowhere else to go. And it was just like, and then you pay, I mean, because you have to have startup costs naturally. And then you put in like, So it was 800 for that. It was like 300 and something for the entire year for my web store. Now this is not including, they don't do your work for you. Like web.com, they actually have, the reason why it's 300 and something a month is because they have a person that fulfills your stuff for you, like your own secretaries. Where the other site was that much for the entire year, which was a lot cheaper, but you had to do all the work. So I spent months making my bookstore site look just like Goodreads almost. I mean, not like totally like Goodreads, but you know, where they have the synopsis where you can read about what a book is about before you buy it. I had all that copied and pasted, some of it from Goodreads, but if Goodreads didn't have the book, then I had to look it up and type it in myself. This took a long time. When you're one person, like I said, cleaning the books, going through the books, setting up the website, it was crazy. All the stuff that I had to do, and you definitely don't make the money out of it that you put into it. You just don't. But it was never about getting rich. It was about saving the books that people were throwing in the landfill. I couldn't stand people throwing books away. And that was the whole thing. So I did all that, and then I canceled the website because they threw me like these vouchers. They give you a domain name. They did all this stuff for you included in your amount. But I never sold anything. Not one book sold on that site. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I paid over $300 and nothing sold the entire year. I didn't break even. And I'm thinking, is it me? Does Amazon really sell books, or do they just sit there? Like, I don't get it. So I didn't sell on Amazon for the fact is it's too much to sell on Amazon. Like they're giving you a service because Amazon is a name, but by the time I paid them, paid PayPal and all these other people that you got to pay, you're not making anything. So that's why I opened up my own website so I didn't have to do all that. But then it failed anyway, so it didn't matter. So I closed that, and I decided, well, I didn't even know YouTube had channels for the common user. I thought, well, I'll just see if I can put some, get the store noticed on YouTube, see what happens. And it just, because I just couldn't afford any more advertising. So when people sit there and say, live your dreams and do this and this, unless you come up with something new that everybody wants, unless you come up with a necessity, it's really hard to start a business. And I have lived my dream because I do live in my dream house. I do my dream job. I've always loved books. I've always wanted a bookstore as long as I could remember. But they were being put out of business by the time I got old enough to have a store and the money to do it. Hey, H-Tot. Yeah, and it's crazy, Metro. It is. Because I couldn't think of no other way to put it out there. And to be honest, most of the people who come into my store physically are people who don't have computers. And I think because a lot of people are on social media, because think about it. I even have a hard time finding time to read a book. By the time I keep up with YouTube, try to keep up with, social media, especially when you're running a YouTube channel and you're doing all this stuff, it's really hard for me to take the time to read a book. So it's like social media has really taken over paper stuff. Because I've noticed a couple people that I know that are into books are like, okay, I haven't been on YouTube because I've actually taken time off to read. Because you don't have time. Especially if you are trying to make YouTube into a job between Twitter. I can't keep up with all of them. I just can't do it. Instagram, Facebook, and now they're coming out with even new ones to spread us thinner. Now there's Twitch, Tumblr's been around. I don't know how long they've been around, but now All these new platforms that are coming out, I can't do it. I don't know how people do it. You would have to live on a computer or your phone all day to do it. Because I have a hard enough time trying to keep up with YouTube. But all I know is it's not easy to do a mom and pop business anymore. It just isn't. And when I look at all the money that I have put out, I've had probably more happiness and gratification in saving the books than I will ever make monetary wise. So I just live with it. And I mean, and if I wouldn't have it in my house, it would have folded already. Because I could never pay rent or lease. I couldn't. But it's like when you look around us, look at the businesses that are making it. Food, because it's a necessity. Clothes, because they're a necessity. You don't see too many businesses that's not a necessity that doesn't fold. And even some of those are folding when they have competitors and they're just bringing new ones out. You know what I mean? Like we had the Dollar Tree, or not Dollar Tree. We had the Dollar General and the Family Dollar. Well, now the Dollar Tree's here, Family Dollar and Dollar General hardly do business. Like there's always a new one that comes in and takes over. You know what I mean? We lost our Toys R Us. We lost our Kmart. We have to travel to get to places. I mean, like I have to literally go to 2 other states to do shopping. Like today, all this came from Ohio. I had to go to a complete different state. I'm in West Virginia, and I either have to go to Ohio or Pennsylvania to shop because I don't have these stores here near me. I have a Dollar Tree on the West Virginia side, a Dollar Tree in Ohio. J.C. Penney's is Ohio. J.C. Penney's is in another part of Ohio. All the places that we shop, we have to travel because I'm from a small town. So it's like, it's crazy. And we used to have, what was it? Big Wheel. Big Wheel, we had that in for a while and it closed. That closed a while ago. And then we had, I can't remember if a Hills was in this one place, but most of our shopping is in a different state. How are you doing, H-Top? I like going to H-Top's channel. H-Top's got that relaxation, that relaxing music. I'm doing great. Just went shopping. My hubby likes sneaking in on my channel, and I hope he's not giving me a thumbs down saying, oh my God, she spent all my money. Hey, Dwayne. How are you? Look, I got all my hair cut off today. I did my last video because I've been pulling my hair up. As you noticed in my bookstore, my hair is always up because it was so long and had dead ends and it was so frizzy. Not the last video, but the 2 before that with my hair down, I was like, oh my God, I look like Harry Scary. I think I had 3 people unsubscribe from my channel when I had my hair down. I probably scared everybody. I mean, I know it's getting close to Halloween, but geez. So I went in today and I said, take all those dead ends off my hair. I look like a frizzy monster in 2 of my videos lately. So they took and cut it all off today, and I was so happy. My hair feels like I lost 5 pounds. And one thing I can tell you guys, when you're a female and you have some thick hair that's long, I get headaches. My head hurts constantly from having to pull it up all the time. And I've been having headaches this past week terribly. So now that he's cut my hair off, it'll feel better. You guys all know each other. Dwayne has been with my channel since the very beginning. He is one of my loyal, oldest commenters since I have started YouTube. Him and No More. And you know, I never see No More post that much anymore. No More's channel was so flipping cool. He used to take tennis shoes that were old and ugly looking. And I'm serious. This man had some skills, this boy did. He literally would take tennis shoes and repaint them, and they were flipping awesome. He would like refurbish tennis shoes, and they were so cool. And he would do like different videos on how he did this, and he would paint them, and you would see it all happening. And then it's just like one year he just quit posting videos, and I was like, what the heck? But his literal channel is no, the word no, and space and more, M-O-R-E. If you guys ever get a chance to go check out some of his old videos when he redid tennis shoes, they're amazing. But I don't know what happened to him. He quit doing it. Last time I saw a post on his channel was Christmas. He did Christmas cards to all his followers, and it was like you would see their names, and it was really cute. It was like one would come and go. But him and Dwayne's been with me since the very beginning when I started my channel. Dwayne's got some cool stuff too. I was floored at that last video, D. Thank you, Metro. D, that was amazing. Where did you get all that background stuff at? He is a Trekkie person, guys. He loves Star Trek, or not Star Trek. Listen to me. I have another friend that's into Star Trek. He's into Star Wars. But I do have a person I used to work for that's a Trekkie fan, D. And oh my God, they're like Trekkie-aholics. But he's the Star Wars. And he gets that saber. But I loved that last video you did. I was like, what is he doing? And when I saw that video, you did some great editing. You all got your own little thing. And it's so cool. And D's into Sonic. I mean, Metro's into Sonic. Metro Sonic, and his is really cool too. He does some really good drawings and some voices with it. It's really cool. And then H-Top is my food channel. You want to sit and eat dinner while you're listening to H-Top music. Oh, I'm telling you, D. But that was an awesome video. You're getting impressive. I have not learned how to edit. I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to stick with my channel being just normal. I have another friend that never edits. She's up to 18,000, subscribers on her channel. And she never edits either. So I think that's just kind of like an opinion. If a person wants to do it, they can, because I like some edited videos too, but it's just not something I really have the time to do either. Between working an 8-hour job. I mean, if YouTube was my job like 24/7, I probably could have the time if I didn't have my store, but it's just too hard. So I figured I'm just going to go unedited. I don't really do anything that needs edited. Except reviews. I do kind of like when Jeffree Star does like a foundation, and he'll come back like 10 hours later, and because of the edit, he could show if it's still there or not, which when I do reviews on products, I can't do that because I don't edit. But it is kind of cool when some of the makeup gurus do that on reviews. But I just give an opinion. I'll just tell people later if it worked or not, but I just don't know how to edit. I don't have a program to do it either. My thing right now I'm working on is lighting. Like, it's not too bad in here because I'm not doing a review, but I don't really want to invest in a halo light and all that, but I do have a desk lamp I try to use. It's just sometimes it washes out my face because it's too bright. You have a great night too, H-Tom. Thank you so much for stopping. I appreciate it. But I like talking with you guys. I'm going to try to do this on Sundays around 5 to whatever, or 6, 5 or 6 or sometime. Like it's really hard for me to get an exact time down because I never know what I'm going to do on the weekends. But every once in a while, I think around 5 o'clock on Sundays, I'll try to do a live stream every once in a while. But I do enjoy coming to other people's live streams. It's just really hard to get around to everybody, but I try. You have a great night too each time. Well, that is so cool, Dee. You have your own studio? That's awesome. See, that's some talent. Me, it's just my phone in my living room or my computer room or my store downstairs. You're welcome. My used bookstore is going to be like AKA used bookstore craft shop. Well, that's cool, Metro. Look at you people. IT specialist. I actually have an associate's degree in liberal arts. I have an associate in applied science. I have a certificate in human services. I have A+ certification where I took classes for my A+ for computers. But I like books. So I'm kind of like a jack of all trades. Just wherever I blend. And my second job that I have when they have clients near me is I work for a company who it's kind of like an assisted living, except it's not in a nursing home. People that want to die at home with it's got hospice incorporated in it. I take care of people that want to die at home. So that's my other job. And at times when I work that, I don't know how I would have time for YouTube if that kicks back in because I work 7 days a week. That's my Saturday and Sunday job. But there's so many people opening up businesses like that the one that I work for is a ways for me. So they haven't had clients up here. I've worked with 2 clients since I've worked with them. One had cancer and she already passed away. And the other one, she had Alzheimer's, and I actually had to help her get adjusted to a nursing home because she was transferred to a nursing home by her daughter. So I had to help her. Well, that is so cool. That is so cool, Metro. I could see you being that smart. I think one of my daughters has a friend who she's into IT too. She went into the military and got into it, and she's really good at it. I think her job, she did a lot of networking, I think was her specialty. Mine was just basic. I had to go in and I just didn't want people taking care of my computers. I didn't like want to specialize in computers. I just wanted to be able to fix my own computer without having to pay somebody so much money to do it, and it'd be something little and you're paying $70 for something that took 2 minutes, if you know what I mean. So I went to my local, this was a while back, unemployment office and said, what can I do to learn how to fix my computers? And they happen to have a program in there where you could take Microsoft Specialist or you could take the A+. So I just went into the A+. My husband's a welder. And the course basically was, I don't know, you had to do a star topology, which was like a networking thing where you had to hook up a bunch of computers to a hub. And what else did we do? Oh, my teacher took apart a tower and he said, find out what's wrong with it. And I'm like, really? And it was the power cord. And he laughed at me. He says, never overlook the obvious. Like, he would give you hard things, but then he would give you simple things too. You know, for somebody that was new at it, like he had me dual boot Windows 98 and XP into the same computer, and just a whole bunch of different things like that. But I basically was into the operating system. Like, I was into formatting and cleaning my computer, and I just wanted to maintenance it without having to pay somebody. Now, if it was something really bad, like circuitry or something, that's something different. I would have had to send it in. But look how much money it is. Because you don't want to mail a computer in. If you don't buy from the manufacturer, you don't have somebody come into your home, which most of the time I stayed with manufacturers, so a person would come into my home and fix it. But it's like, it's not worth your time to buy a computer and have to send parts in all the time. Just the shipping alone is horrible. So that was my basic thing of wanting to learn what I learned. But, you know, Windows 10 is a whole nother ball game. On home and professional in 98 and 2000, all that, you were able to do a lot more manually. Like, you could ask for the discs and do it all yourself, where now it's just different. So, but I was like a sponge when I first came online. Like, I wanted to learn how to do all that kind of stuff. But it's funny because my teacher would ask things in hardware, and that's where we were like Mars and Venus. Because I don't care about hardware. If I wanted to go pick up a sound card, I would just tell them what I wanted and buy it. If I wanted a cord, I would just tell them what I wanted and buy it. Like, I don't care about measurements and knowing specifics of what it's about. And that's where he goes, you're like Mars and Venus in here, because the men were all about the hardware and I was all about the OS. I liked installing programs and playing with them. Like, I could make anything work when it comes to software. Think about it. I mean, when you download MSN Messenger and you downloaded Yahoo or Pal Talk or any of that, they basically are set up the same. It's just certain features were in different places. You know what I mean? And it's like, so like when I was in Yahoo and I had to run Yah Elite, now that was a challenge. Because Yah Elite wasn't set up like Messenger. It had a whole lot of other features and you had to figure out how to use them. That was me. I was like a junkie for that stuff. Like, I would love to download a program and figure out how it worked. But I had a guy that was in my class and he said, you're so funny, because he says, my wife literally writes programs, but she has no clue how to go up to the top of Internet Explorer and make a folder. Like, she didn't know the simple things, but she knew the hard things. So it's really interesting. Well, that is cool, Metro. But I don't know. I quit talking computer talk because, you know, when you get into a chat room and people would hear you, they'd be like, can you help me fix this? And can you help me fix that? And I lost my patience on a few people because, you know, things that might come easy to us don't come easy to other people, but it's like they weren't really paying attention because they didn't really want to learn in the first place. I don't know. I just didn't have patience working with some people, like at a help desk situation. But I did what I did, and I got by. I mean, I made my computer last for 13 years. So I think I maintained it pretty good before it went obsolete. Like, I had a Dell Home Edition computer, and even Dell was impressed. 13 years, and it never saw a place where it needed fixed. It never went to a shop. And I kept it formatted. I kept it clean. When things started going wrong with it, I did a complete format. And I never set it back to factory default. I know some people like that option, but sometimes programs get messed up when you do that. So I didn't do that. I would do a total uninstall, total reinstall, everything fresh and clean, and that's how I liked it. I think that's why my computer lasted for so long. And then two, antiviruses aren't the same either. Used to have some good ones back in the day, and it's like really hard to find the good ones now. But it is what it is. I used to love Sidegate Home Firewall until they sold it to another company and they just destroyed it. Because that firewall was amazing. You could watch all the traffic going in and out of your computer, and you didn't have to worry about somebody coming in because it showed you. It sparkled down in the corner or something was coming through that you didn't allow, so it was really cool. I liked internet security. You know, like I really liked like learning about that. Like helping things keep secure. I don't know how to make programs. I just wanted to play with how to use them. That was me. I didn't, you know, most of it's coding, but I liked learning how to make them work. Like downloading new stuff and playing with stuff like that. But I don't know, I just kind of outgrew it. It's hard staying on top of it all the time because there's always new stuff coming out constantly. Yep, that's true, Metro. Well, I'm still learning a lot about YouTube. Like, I don't even have a playlist. I mean, between you guys, I mean, I don't know if you guys know anything, but what is the purpose of having a playlist? Just to show what you're interested in? I'm not sure. I don't even have one started. Somebody told me that it's nice to have a playlist set up, but I don't. I don't have a playlist. If you go to my page, you'll see that it's not there. Like, there's still things I'm learning about YouTube. I mean, I don't know what is the purpose of having a playlist. I mean, really, is it to show people what you're interested in on YouTube? I mean, like, if you put somebody else's video on there, is it like see, I don't like using Norton. Norton was too junky for me. I'm just really picky. I used to hang out with the guys in the Hackers Lounge that were into internet security, and they just didn't like any of the stuff that was on the market. We used all the stuff that was coming out, like Kaspersky, I think is how you pronounce it, was one of their number one ones to use. And at one time, there was another one they used to use, but I can't think of the name of it. And then, but Norton and McAfee and all them, they never liked those because they say that because they're so commercialized, they're the easiest ones to get into. So there was one program I was using. I cannot for the life of me think of what it was, but the difference between the commercialized ones like Norton is they give you updates on antiviruses. They're already named. There was a specific one that used to be out that even if it is suspected something was wrong, it would give you a warning. And that's what I would rather have than something that's already recognized. Because when you did semantic updates for Norton, it was stuff that was already listed. See, that's what I mean, D, though. But do you making a playlist? I mean, this is my question. If you're making a playlist with other people's videos, does that boost their videos too, though? Like, help them monetary wise? The very first thing I learned about computers, Metro, when I came online was how to manually take out Trojans. I never needed a program. I know how to remove them myself physically. On Windows 10, I don't know because I've never played with Windows 10 long enough. But like on Home Edition and all that, I learned how to take them out myself. So viruses and stuff like that never infected my computer because I knew how to go into registry and clean all that. I kept all of it clean. Like I knew how to take it out. But like I said, it's been a while. And then if something would come up, like when I was fixing somebody else's computer and I'd be running another scanner over it, because there was a scanner I used to run online too. And I would run it over and it would come up and say like Trojan something something's in their computer. I had a list that was like a library. And I would go in and type that specific name in the search of what the Trojan was, and it would tell me exactly how to take it out. So that's what I first learned. Is that like not crazy? What woman in her right mind goes onto a computer and learns how to remove Trojans? Especially when I didn't even know what the heck a Trojan was. Like, it was just crazy the things that attracted me. It was that kind of stuff and animation. Like, I can create animations now. I was so fascinated by anything that moved online. If you would have seen my computer when I first got it, I had everything that moved saved into a folder. Because I wanted to know how they moved. And it's really funny because, like, the biggest animation I ever made was like 15. It was like either 11 or 15 frames long. And it's just like flicking a cartoon. You know, when you flick the book and you see the animation go real fast, but it's layers in the program, and then you time it and create it. Because there's a timer. I don't know how to explain it, but I loved it. I had so much fun taking a complete still picture of a JPEG and adding rain, snow, hair flowing. I could bring it to life. And it was awesome. And I used to play with that kind of stuff back at the MSN sites. It was so much fun. I went into an art designing place called Designing Tags, and it was just so much fun. I met so many great people in there. But then it went down, like everything else good that goes on online. Yeah, I heard about the trailers on the homepage. Most of it, I think, D, you can't do with your phone. I have noticed most programs that I have learned by a computer, I have hated going to a phone. I don't know if you guys are like me, but when I first saw Facebook on a computer, and then I went to a phone, I was like, where the heck is everything? Like, you know, you're so used to having the whole page open up and having like your list. I don't know if you guys remembered Facebook when you first opened it. And it had everything there to this wee teeny little thing where all you see is the posts. I was like, what the heck? I said, everything's gone. I was so lost trying to go from a computer to a phone. Well, with YouTube, it was the opposite. I saw it on my phone before I learned it on the computer. Hey, Alicia. But like I went to my computer and I was like, wow, there's so much stuff on YouTube on my computer I do not see on my phone. So I figured when you set up a trailer, you do it through a computer more than a phone, right? Thank you. I had to get it cut. I was so sick of looking at the frizzies. That's why I had it pulled up. Well, hey, Samantha. Yay. Samantha, you're so stinking cute. Have you guys checked out Samantha's channel? She's so adorable. Thank you. The only thing is, if you wear headsets, you got to watch out for her belches. She'll kill your ears. You know, Yahoo ruined that for me. I used to have a headset when I first started in Yahoo, and people would belch, and I would literally jump out of my seat because they would scare me so freaking bad. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I bought an open mic. I couldn't. That's so funny. So how's college life? You doing good? How's your grades? I try to catch your videos as much as I can when I see you pop on. The only thing is when Samantha's lives are on, I get a sentence in and it's gone. It's like I can't keep up with her flow. It's like I'll ask her a question. I have to catch myself in the bigger ones. Like asking the same question 3 times because their flow is going so fast I can't keep up. But you guys did a great video on college life. And it's so funny. I'm glad you stopped in because right after that happened, I went into a Dollar Tree and this woman was talking, hey, Kenneth, to a sales lady that was checking her out. And she says, my daughter's going off to college and she's buying this and this. I said, listen, go to YouTube. I said, there's 3 people's videos. I said, I have it posted on my Facebook page too, like some college students, and they started this streaming together where they're sharing what to take and what to pack. And I was giving her you guys' list, and that was like the best thing I have seen on YouTube in a really long time when it comes to teaching people what to take. Because I swear, when my daughter went to college, she would have taken everything in the house plants. She packed so much. And I remember walking up them steps at least 10 times. I'm like, really? Like, you are so not moving. I wish I would have seen these videos back when she went to college. But they did. On Samantha's channel, they did an amazing series. And I just had to pass it on to a bunch of moms on my Facebook page. And I told the lady in the store, I'm doing great, Kenneth. How are you? I told the lady in the store, I said, just make sure she has shower shoes. Because that was their big thing. Do not forget the shower shoes. And I don't think my daughter took those. I don't think she even thought to take those. Now, we do have a camping place near us that we go to that has showers, and you definitely want shower shoes when you go there. But I never thought about that on camping. I mean, on a campus, a college campus. But I do know a guy that used to work on one. He said it was hellacious when they had to go out there in summer when the kids were back to school and they had to clean up those rooms. Oh, he says me and them college students can make some messes. But yeah, it's really cool to do series like that to help out people. I love it. You're sick with the flu. That's not good. Well, my advice when I tell people to come in here, check out each other's channels. If you like the content, subscribe to the channel, because that's what I do. If I don't like a person's content, I don't subscribe. But I have a lot of variety taste, so I like cooking. I like some family vlogs. I like unboxings. I like hauls. I mean, there's so much I like that your channel would have to be pretty bad for me not to subscribe. I think one time I had one that I met on a live stream. This is hysterical. So I don't know if I told you guys about this in another live or not. But I was going back through after we had added some. And I watched this one, and they were having puppets do things puppets shouldn't be doing. And I totally, like, unsubscribed from that channel. Some people, I'm telling you, they can mix up some very interesting content on YouTube. But I got rid of that channel, like, really fast. It's like, I do not want to watch this. But I do like store hauls and different things like that because I think they're fun. Like, I watched this one girl on here, Jennifer Moen. I friggin' love her channel. My favorite couponer is definitely Nicole Burgess. Oh my God, that girl can coupon. But Jennifer, what I like about her is she buys stuff at her Dollar Tree and then of course shows it on her channel, but like her Dollar Tree is bigger than ours. But she'll show like stuff on there that I see my grandsons would love for Christmas and things like that because they just, I wouldn't think to look for certain items. So she's got a younger son and she'll hold up stuff and I'm like, oh, that would be so cute to stick in. Because I don't have stockings for my grandkids. I have mailboxes with their names on them. And it's really funny how this idea came up because my one granddaughter had a play set that was hard plastic and it had a little mailbox. And she was always checking it. Do I got mail? Do I got mail? And I thought, instead of doing stockings, I'm going to buy mailboxes for my grandkids. And it was so funny because I could see that one of the mailboxes box was opened and checked. I'm thinking the mail people are probably thinking, what the heck is this woman transporting in all these mailboxes? I don't know too many people that order 6 mailboxes at the same time. So I could see that one was checked. It's like, if they only knew. So I showed it on my YouTube channel. Hey, Purple Blue! I showed it on my YouTube channel, the actual boxes that I made, because who doesn't like to get mail? So for Christmas, they usually get one big gift for me, and I fill their mailboxes up with stuff. And me and my daughter will go shopping, and like my granddaughters like those washcloths. You guys ever see them in the Dollar Tree where they open up into a washcloth? They're like packed, and you add water, and they open. My grandkids love that kind of stuff. So I put that kind of stuff in their mailboxes. But they actually like it, and I'll show them to you. Hold on. See? You guys see that? See those mailboxes lined up in front of my little fireplace over there? That's their mailboxes for Christmas. I don't have a place to store them right now. So they sit there all year. I just dust them off and keep sitting them back on the box. I told my husband, because my attic doesn't have steps to it, which is really awful. So I don't have steps to go upstairs, and it's hard for me to get in and out of my attic, but I wish I could. But I have, because I would love to store a lot of my Christmas stuff upstairs, because my computer room is computer / makeup / Christmas items. It's like a storage room, and it's always a mess in there because I'll get a whole bunch of like Christmas wrapping paper, and then I got to find a place to move it to because the room is like real small and narrow. So I don't have no room for my Christmas boxes, so they're sitting out here for now. But I put their names on it. And my grandkids love it. They come here though when it's not Christmas, and they're like, "Is there anything in our mailbox?" And it's like, I wish I could put something in them, because my 9-year-old grandsons aren't into junk mail. But my 2 granddaughters, I probably could put junk mail in and they'd be happy. But they're funny. But I wanted to do something different, so they got Christmas mailboxes. Because I told my kids, I said, you guys do the stockings, I do the mailboxes. So now I have another grandkid. Now I have 5. Because my other grandchild was just born March 1st. So I'm going to have to get a little mailbox for her because she don't have one. And all you guys that's on my Instagram, I'm waiting for my daughter to send a picture of Kylie. When we was in Penny's today, they have a Sephora and JCPenney's. So any of you makeup lovers out there, we held my granddaughter up by the Sephora sign and took a picture. So I'm going to post it on my Instagram and put Kylie, the next generation of makeup lovers at Sephora. Because she was just born March 1st, but it's so funny. But I like finding ideas. Oh, it's going to be hysterical. I can't wait to see people's reaction with her by the Sephora sign. Because I like to review some products. And I didn't get into Sephora until last year, I think it was. And I went to town. I mean, I had never had high-end makeup. And I was never really into that much makeup. I was tomboy type. But my husband, and I told him when I started doing reviews, he had literally handed me a credit card and says, go to town. So I did. And believe me, he was ready to kill me for going to town. But I caught up on a lot of Sephora stuff I had never had. And like I said, I mean, we've been blessed. We're not rich by far, but we have been blessed to where we started out. We've had food stamps at times. We've struggled, let me tell you. We started out as a ready-made family because I already had my daughter. I had her when I was 17. I know what it's like to be a single mom with a job. I know what it's like to be a struggler when your husband's on strike. We've been through it all together. We'll be married 30 years, and believe me, we have had hard times and we have had great times because that's life. It's ups and downs like a roller coaster. But I told him if we ever got to a point, because we started out, I have pay stubs. I was only making $3 and something an hour. Isn't that awful? That shows how old I am too. But that was minimum wage. So it's like, I always told him, you know, once the kids are grown and, you know, we got past all this, when we got to a point where we could help other people, we would. So that's why I do the back to school giveaways when I can and do things like that, because we knew what it was like. You know, it's like my dad went through the same thing. There was times where he could pay his electric bill and couldn't pay the gas bill, and robbed Peter to pay Paul, so to speak. But he always made sure us kids had our school clothes before school. And it might not have been a lot, but it was enough. And, you know, we are blessed in that way that we got to a point where we could try. And I'm telling you, I love it. I started the back to school giveaway because I watched Daniel Ray's channel, and I thought that was the most amazing thing to do on YouTube. I got it from her. And I knew I wouldn't be able to do her giveaways because, you know, she gets PR and she can do big ones. And hers are more kind of like college or, you know, the bigger. And she does a lot of makeup giveaways. But I had a mother of 4 win one year. And these people are really touched. You know, I watched Jennifer win. She was wondering how her and her mom, because she helps raise her sister, she did a YouTube video on it, Jennifer Too Much For You, and she did the unboxing of the winning of the giveaway. But I know it's going to somebody that needs it. It's not somebody that's just doing it to resell it and make money. I mean, these people are literally using it. And the mom of 4 was like, she was off of my Instagram the first year. She was like, this is so incredible. She's like, I have 4 kids to buy for, you know, and my daughter's got a set of twins, a 9-year-old, and her new baby that'll be 9 months by Christmas. I have another daughter that's got 2 sons. It's not easy at times. And we try to help them when we can for things if they need it. And my parents just raised us to be that way. Like, I can't explain my upbringing. I was so fortunate. We didn't have a perfect family, no. They had their disputes and they had things. But you know what? If my dad knew one of my neighbors, our neighbors growing up, were out of a job, he's the first one taking pizza to their door. If he was just like that. And I used to tell my dad all the time, I said, you should have a breakfast company, like open up Dad's breakfast bar, because Saturdays, we would have like neighbor people in our house drinking coffee, eating. He would have like a smorgasbord of pancakes and eggs and sausage and bacon and whatever laid out for the people that, because we were like a community in that neighborhood. So nobody went without. Nobody ever starved on my dad's watch. And I was just, you know, we've been blessed like that. And it carried to me to carry to other people. And it's the way people should be. And I think that so many people are standoffish, and it's hard sometimes for a lot of people to make it. And I hate when people are silent, because there's so much pride when people are afraid to admit that they need help. But don't do that because you might have a kid that needs something. So they had a backpack program that started here. And this is one of the things I did with my bookstore. I remember as kids, we used to stay after school trying to pick up. I don't know if you guys ever remember the little cakes that had the pink icing and stuff for lunch, but we used to bug the lunch ladies through the back window of the school saying, "Do you have any extra? You have any extra?" Try to sucker some more desserts off of them. And they would give us stuff if they had it and sneak us stuff. It probably was illegal, but they did it anyways. Well, then my mom's church, and no, I don't go to church like I should, but it's there. You know, once a certain belief is instilled in you on helping people, it just never goes away. So my mom said the same school I went to as a kid, she still goes to that same church up beside it. The kids were coming home and are coming to the same window we did and going to the kitchen and saying, "We don't have the food at home. Do you have food to spare?" And it was sad because the school came to my parents' church and there was kids that just were not, they were hungry. It's like their parents can't make it on minimum wage and this and that. So the churches around here started backpack programs. The one where my mom lives is called Weekend Buddies. The one here is called Friday Friends. So every year I put in like breast cancer awareness or the weekend, or she does weekend, but I do Friday Friends here. So I put Friday Friends in. I put St. Jude's, like my favorite places, and DAV is another one. DisabledVeterans.org is another good one. I stick them, all my favorites, into a thing and I draw, and once a year I raise money out of my business for that particular. Wheeling Soup Kitchen was last year to feed the homeless. And then to prove to people that's where the money goes, they send me a card, because in this day and age, you don't know who's fraud or not because people don't know who to trust. So when the books come in and that's, I tell them you can donate. I even have free books when you walk out the door of my store. They can choose as many as they want. I said, if you want to donate $1 or $2 to what the donation is of the year, go ahead and take as many free books as you want. So they've been good about that. So every year since I opened my store, I raised $100 for every single thing I've done. And I send it in. And then when they send me back the proof, I show people on Facebook, this is where it went. So people have the proof of where it goes. So it's just great. It's not to win any points. It's just because I really believe in them. My husband was in the Navy. I've lost family in the military. So DisabledVeterans.org means a lot to me. St. Jude's to me is amazing because I know that people struggle. These kids are on a time, and I know how much medical expenses are for kids and people that don't have insurance. So, it's just, I love it. Thank you. And it's just, and to me, like when I see people struggling, I try to help best I can. And that's all we can do in life. It's love in the dash between your birth and your death. What you do with that dash in between, to me, means everything. And even if I'm not a superstar and people don't know who I am, I'm okay with that. I just want to make my life the best I can to the best of my ability while I'm living it here. And people do not realize, I even think back when I was a kid, we took a lot for granted before you get to that age. I don't know why we do. I wish sometimes our elderly grandparents would sit down and say to us, you think you might have life by the balls, but you really don't. Because your time here is really short and you better make do with what you have. And I think that is the best lesson of all. And when people ask me all the time, and I've always been this way, When anybody even in chat used to ask me back in Yahoo, like in 2000, they would say, what is your biggest accomplishment in life? It was never my degrees. It was never my jobs. My answer has always been the same: life. There are so many struggles and so many ups and downs that if you can even make a little bit of difference in one person's life with life itself, you've had an amazing accomplishment. And it's like, and I remember this one kid I used to date, his little brother used to hug me every time he saw me. Like, they didn't have the best life. Like, they had an alcoholic parent. And every time he saw me, he said, you were like a safety net to me. He says, because I'd see you at a football game, and he's just a little kid. I'd run across that field and give you a hug, and you always had open arms for me. He turned out to be a police officer. And I had a family member who went through a terrible drug addiction. And he watched over that person for me because he had the law. And who would have ever thought this little boy that I hugged at one period in my life would grow up and watch that my family member didn't go through a terrible time? You know what I mean? Like, who would have ever thought that? I never dreamed he would have been a cop. So, you know, every treatment you give somebody, every hug you give somebody, anything, you never know what it could turn out to be for you later. And I do believe in karma. Let me tell you. Because I have seen people do some pretty rotten things. And I know this one girl, and I know this is terrible. She was terrible. This one girl where I used to live, she was just, I can't even tell you the excruciating, terrible things she did to people. And she ended up getting killed in a car crash, and her kid never got to see her mother being raised. She never got to see her. And I mean, she was a horrible person. She did such terrible things to people. It was awful. And I felt so bad because she had a little girl, and believe me, she wasn't a very good mother either. And it's not to gossip, it's just truth. I mean, I can't even tell you the stuff she did because it was so horrible. But it's like when she died in a car crash and it got back to me, and this little girl now was raised without her mom, probably not being ignorant for the best because she was going nowhere fast. But I feel horrible that she's not going to have her mom, regardless of how horrible of a person she was. But karma really bit her. And I do believe bad things happen to bad people. I do. I don't know why bad things happen to good people. I don't think we'll ever have that answer because it seems to go both ways. And then there's sometimes some bad people just get away with everything. And I don't understand it sometimes. But I do believe karma catches up with people. I just do. So, you know, and I told my husband the best thing we could do is be good to people as best we can. We're not always perfect. Heck, we still have our spats. You don't make it 30 years without going through confrontations, let me tell you. It is not easy to have a 30-year marriage when times change. And two, you got to watch people you hang out with. You know, it's just like, I've seen, you know, people that dated and other, you know, friends interfered, try to break them up. It's like some people are just so angry they can't stand seeing other people happy either. And I don't like people like that. I actually am happy when people are happy. I don't know why jealousy sets in with some people. I mean, have you ever watched some Jerry Springer shows? I know that they're terrible because most of them's fake, but I have seen people do that. Try to break up people in good relationships because they were so jealous. They were terrible people. And I would be like, why are you like that? Why can't you be happy for somebody that's happy? People should never try to interfere with somebody else's relationship. And a lot of it, I think, is because somebody doesn't have it and they think that they're going to have it with that person because they see it and maybe they're jealous. I don't know, but I've never felt that way. I never understood why people could feel that way. I don't, it was instilled in me in a young age to never covet what somebody else has. And not so much as even in the Bible, it's just, I just never did. I mean, if I didn't have a pool and my neighbor did, I was totally happy that they had that pool. You know, let me come jump in it sometimes, but I never cared that I didn't have it and they did. You know what I mean? Like, I never got into that jealousy thing because I seen it do some ugly things to people. But I think, I don't know. I just think that some people learn and some people don't. I don't know. I don't know why some things come easy to some and not to others. But I am headstrong, let me tell you. My mom, she used to tell me, "You're such a bullhead." I said, "You raised me," because she's the same way. But it's like if I don't know the truth about something, I kind of like sit back like, okay. But if it's something I'm passionate about and I know that's a fact, I'll fight you. You know, like to the end, I would be like, I'm not backing down. Not like physical fight, but you know what I mean, like headstrong. Me and my husband clash a lot. He's an Italian, I'm a German, you can only imagine. He's got that German in him where he's just like, thinks he's the godfather. And it's like, would you shut up? He used to sit there and tell me when we first got married, he'd say, "My family's the mafia. We'll kick your butt." I said, "Bring it." Like he used to throw the godfather stuff in my face all the time. I was like, give me a break. He's not mafia. He told the kids for years that his family was from Transylvania, that they were all vampires. I said, quit telling the kids that stuff. I said, you're so goofy. So you're not no damn vampire. He likes making up stories. He's the tall tailor in our marriage. But I think that's why we balance each other, because I'm the truth seeker and he's the goofball. And I got to tell you guys this, and I hope he's still watching this video because he came in and was watching it earlier. He told me my hair looked nice, so I know he was watching the video because he's not home. He's at work. So he come home, and this is what he'd do to me when I was in college, and he would do this to my kids too. Of course, he did something a little different with me because I'm the wife, but he would draw the funniest cartoons out of stick people that you ever seen. He always doodled stick people doing funny stuff, like smoking a cigarette and have these great big puffs of smoke going up, or just stupid things. And he used to, you'd be like, the kids would be like, "What is Dad doing? See you later, Metro. Thanks for stopping." They'd be like, "We're getting ready to take a test." And we open our notebook and there was a dad stick doodle. But he did it to me too. I was in college and mine was a little dirtier. So we're going to go a little past PG here. He would do stick people in sexual positions and he was bad to me. But I opened up my notebook in the middle of taking a test for college. And I'm like writing. And I happened to turn the page. I was like, what the hell? He'd have stick people doing naughty stuff. And I would crack out freaking laughing in the middle of the test. And the teacher was like, "What are you laughing at?" I said, "Don't even ask." I was like ready to kill him. So I come home. I go, "Why do you do that?" He said, "It broke the tension, didn't it?" So he is the goofy one. He used to do goofy stuff like that all the time. One of these days, I'll have to change my channel to adult and show you some of the pictures he drew. He would kill me. I still have some of them. I saved the little notes and folded them up. He didn't say anything. He just had like stick people. It was just funny. He was a dirty little thing. But that's the spice of life. You got to have some fun and you got to be serious at times to be serious. That's so funny. Come here, Round. Say hi. Come here. Come on. gotta say hi to everybody. Come here. Give me some puppy time. She knows what this means. Come on. Up. Say hi, everybody. Set for Mama some puppy time. Come here. Get up here. Come here. Come here. Come. Rowan, come. Come. Come here. Come here. Up. Roni, come here. Here, I'll move the bag. Come here. Come here. Get up here. Say hi. Say Mommy, last animal. She's my last baby left. I miss my kitties, though. But I still have my puppy. She's my little girl. She's my big baby. Come here. Let me see if I can pick you up. Oh my God, you're so big. I remember when I first brought her home, she was just a little puppy that sat in the corner of my shirt. Look at her. Say hi, everybody. Say my name's Roni Pepperoni. You my fur baby? You my fur baby? She got this little tinky thing. She hated it. She kept trying to eat it off of her collar when she first got it. And I bought her 2 new toys this week. And here it is. She ate the eyeball off. Look. Or no. This one here is the crab. Look what she did to it. I'm going to do another video of toys Roni destroyed. But it's a monster face. My husband must have put it out in the kitchen. And it had 4 eyeballs on top of it. Well, now it's -2. This is what she does. But she likes the squeaky plastic. And I can't get her fur ones because she'll take the front of her teeth and like go back and forth until she pulls the thread out of them. And then the stuffing comes out of them. So I can't give her fur because a friend of mine had a dog that digested and it got stuck, and he had to have a $400 surgery to have it removed because he actually ate stuffing and it got stuck in his intestines and he couldn't pass it. So after that, I told my husband, we're not buying any more animals with stuffing in them. So she's got like these types. And the rest of her toys, she's never done this to. Like, she's got a whole bunch of ones she's had since she was a puppy, and she's never destroyed those ones. But I get these at the Dollar Tree. Look what she did to it. She chewed the crab legs off of it. That's what it's supposed to look like. So it's like, wow, really, Roan? It's like, I can't keep this dog in toys. So she destroyed that, and here was another one. I got a pile of them that I need to do a video on because I did these once. She had this alligator. No, you can't have these. She chewed the tongue off of it. Tongue and it's gone. And then it had a squeak in it. And look what she did. She tore the squeaker out. I'm showing her toys. You can't have these back. But she likes the noise. Like, she likes that paper noise. Look at her up here trying to get it. She's like, give me this. And then she had this bone. Look what she did to it. It's like a bellow bone. She bit a hole in it. She is a holy terror on these stuff. But I did one video of toys she destroyed, and this one lady, they have a dog like her. And because she's got pit bull in her, even though she looks like a black Labrador, she's she's part, what did he say? Red-nosed pit, part gator pit, and German Shepherd. And I can see the German Shepherd in her flanks. She's got the brown going up in her flanks, and it's kind of cool looking because she's real sleek, and she's got white down her neck and her chest, and some of her toes. And the rest of her is like a sleek black, and then you'll see these two little brown flanks in her back end. She's like really cool looking. But I see a black lab. I had a Labrador, and that's what she reminds me of. He swears up and down there's no lab in her. And I said, well, you know what? I'm going to do a DNA test because you can get a test called from this one company for your animals. I said, I'm going to prove she's got lab in her because I see it in her face. And every time somebody sees her, they say, oh, she's such a cute black lab. I'm like, this is what I tried to tell her owner, but she was on Facebook. And this guy, look at her trying to get her old toys. This guy had a picture of her held up as a puppy, and oh my God, I fell in love with her picture. I was like, I gotta bring her home and spoil her. So I did, because we used to have a lab named Brandy, and then I had a blonde lab named Samantha. I love labs. I think labs are awesome animal dogs. They were always good with my kids. And a mixed dog to me, I've had full-blooded English. I can't remember what, English something. English setter or something like that. That dog was so freaking hyper. I think when they're mixed, they're neutral. Like, I like mutts, I'm sorry, but I just think that they're calmer, they're more relaxed. I think some of the ones who are full-blooded are just so hyper, like you can't do nothing with them till after they hit a certain age. And I've had really good luck with all my animals. I had Brady was a black lab, and we bred her purposely with what was Bo? He was a husky. Not Samoya. I forget what kind of husky he was. But he had like white, tan, black mix. And he had the things over the eyes like the husky does, like the colored eyebrows. I think they were like a golden brown almost. Her puppies were beautiful. Oh my God, their puppies were gorgeous. And I had a nice mixture. I had a blonde lab, a couple black labs. I had a couple dark dogs with the eyebrow look of the husky, and we got them homes, but we kept 3 of them. And I love the dogs to pieces. They were so good. And then a couple of the owners that got the other puppies kept in touch with us. And one of them spoiled his dog so bad he had him on a tractor, riding right beside him. And but I named her Roni because I couldn't think of a name, and her dad's name was Rocky, and her ex-owner was a Ralph, and her mom's name was Ebony. So I found this name thing on Google where you could blend them, and I blend them together, and the only name that came up that was decent was Roni, because the rest of them were like, and Roni came up, and I thought that's perfect, so I call her Roni. But she's a combination. And then the guy that used to own her, we kept in touch through Facebook, and he told me that her mom just passed away. But her mom, man, she was full-blooded gator pit. You could see it. She had some really ugly teeth. He has a picture where he's laying beside her, and with her face down, I could see Roni in her face. But when she lifted her mouth up, you could see the gator teeth. Because I was like, why are they called a gator or pit bull? I had never heard of one. And the teeth are all funky. And when you look at her, when I pull her lip down, her teeth look messed up. When she's upside down, she looks so vicious. But when she's right side up, she looks passive. Ronies. It's my baby. Come here. She's like, not again, Mom. What are you doing? You my little girl? So she's my only pet now. Heather and Hope are gone. Now I just have my puppy. I don't miss changing the litter pans. And hubby don't miss changing the litter pans. But I do miss my cats. But she's easier to take on vacation if you find pet-friendly places to go. Where our cats, we couldn't. Because litter pants stink. Come here. Come here. Come up here. She's so precious. I love her. I just love her to death because she's my puppy. She's a bed hog. She can't lay up and down. She's got to lay this way. So she's got my husband at one side of the bed, me on the other. I love her ears. Look at her ears. Woo! You look like you'll fly away. She's looking at me like, really, Mom? You're so precious. I love it when her ear flips up. She shakes her ear and it flips up. She looks so cute. We didn't know if her ears were going to lay or stand up because of the shepherd. But the brown, I don't know if you guys can see the brown. Let me see if I can. Right there. See the brown in her flanks that I was talking about? It's like right there. That's the German Shepherd. But she's not real big. Like, if you look at the front of her, she's got the stance of a pit bull. And she's not going to get any bigger. So she's pretty much a decent size. This is as big as she'll get. Which is okay. Because she's not really, to me, like... She's not a large dog. But she's not real small. She's kind of like a little under medium, maybe. But I think that's a good size. I'm talking about you. But she's my love until her daddy comes home. And then she's like, who are you, Mom? She's a daddy's girl all the way. But anyways, I'm going to go, and I thank you guys for all tuning into my video. And this was fun, even though it was supposed to be a half an hour. I was on here for a long time, but I'm going to try to do half hours. But you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for stopping in and visiting my channel. Mwah. Bye.